So, welcome back. I've been gone for a long time, had a little bit of schoolwork to do, so I'm sorry for missing these videos. Hopefully, the sound is a lot better now. I don't want to jinx it, but last time I've been testing it, it's been doing really well. So, this is a block deck I made on my own. In standard, I usually just net deck the best decks, but in block, I like to flex my creative muscles a little bit and see if I can actually work with some stuff. Now, there were decks like this, but this one is pretty unique, I think, in my opinion. The deck only has four artifacts at all, and they're in the sideboard. So artifact removal is very poor against this deck. And these ratchet bombs in the sideboard are not meant to stick around for any amount of time. So the idea here was to create a blue-black control deck that basically killed all your opponent's creatures in the mid-game, and use Commando and Phyrexian Rager to either to just draw you enough cards to get to your late game. And the late game finishers are Consecrated Sphinx, Carnifex, and Geth. So, as well as Black Sun Zenith there to clear it out in the mid game. So I really like this deck. It's very strong against artifact removal decks. They have to have a liquid metal coating for their artifact removal to be useful at all. Normally, you like to have Inkmoth Nexuses in the lands, but this deck has so many colored mana sources, you just really need to hit your double mana here, your double mana there, your double mana there. So, it's really important to have your mana, and there's 27 mana sources in this deck. Another thing I like. Earlier I was playing a triple color deck, and I don't understand it in this format now. It worked really well when it went off, but if you didn't draw the right mana in the right time, things just got really bad. So I can't wait for NPH to come out and give us some more mana fixing. But until then, this is how I roll with this. Steel Sabotage is the only artifact destruction in blue-black, so besides Volition Reigns, that's the only thing we can deal with it there. I did a split between Go for the Throat and Grasp of Darkness. They both have their targets that they're meant for. Go for the Throat, of note, kills important creatures like Consecrated Sphinx, Carnifex, and Geth. And Grasp of Darkness kills the Inkmoth Nexuses from your opponent. That's my winnings from a daily. It kills Inkmoth Nexuses. It kills a lot of things that Go for the Throat does, but it costs double black, and it doesn't kill some of the important creatures in the format. So normally Grasp of Darkness is a little bit better, but it costs a little bit more in terms of mana, and it doesn't deal with everything, so I have Go for the Throat as well. They both deal with Hero Bladehold, which is very important. Stoke Rebuttal never gets metal crafted in this deck, but that's fine. It's just a cancel. Another way if you get a board that's cleared and you just have Commando, you can just start countering spells and that type of stuff. Phyrexian Rager is just nice. It's a nice way to keep on hitting your land drop so you can get up your Consecrated Sphinx. Geth is really interesting as a finisher. I'm kind of thinking of him as my 5th Consecrated Sphinx. He just has the ability to take over games if he's left alone. He also doesn't die to Grasp of Darkness. I haven't seen him used much, but he's definitely powerful. A lot of games you just take over instantly with him on board. Carnifex Demon is a second Black Sun Zenith, essentially. It actually works well with Black Sun Zenith as well. It's his 3rd and 4th, actually, in this deck. But it deals well with Inkmoth Nexuses, a lot of weenie decks. Just a great way to deal with them. Commando, I was telling you, is just important. We have a lot of removal to help clear the way for him. So if you can get him going, things usually turn out pretty well. Other than that, you just got some removal, some counters, and some creatures. So I think it's pretty straightforward. Don't have enough color situations to deal with Inkmoth, but it would be nice if it actually made colored mana. I'd love a Creeping Tar Pit in this deck too, but Block's missing a lot of pieces. I don't think the first 2 sets were the best for constructed, even though I did well in the first set. Okay, so the sideboard, let's pile this out by name. Another Black Sun Zenith, that's a nod to the White Weenie decks. Carnifex Demon, that's a nod there as well. Disperse is just a 5th Steel Sabotage, it's not as good, but I didn't have the room for it. It's kind of important. Again, this deck may not be fully complete. This is just my deal with it so far. Mimir side is there again. I usually bring in one against Kuldotha Phoenix decks. It's also there against decks that have like very few win conditions. Although I'm just not totally sure on these yet. It was just another way to deal with some very hard to deal with permanents. Phyrexian Vat Mother deals with Thrun very well. Ratchet Bomb is a great way to deal with White Weenie decks, and Skinrender is also just a great way to get value against creature decks. So again, I'm not completely sure on the sideboard. I'm not even completely sure on the main board, but that's how I've been running it so far. And I ran it in the daily today, so I'll show you how it went.